Hi everyone, today I want to show you the Notes and Totes suite. It is super cute and I just had such a blast making things with it and I just really wanted to share it. This is a card we made at a recent card class that I did, and it's just a fun little card, not difficult, definitely fits a gift card, and that little tote is so fun. So I also made at Stamp Camp this cute little bag tote too. This one kind of got crushed because it's been sitting on my desk for a week and a half now. We made this a couple weeks ago. And it's just a fun little tote. We'll make both versions because I want to show you how to use it as a 3D kind of holder or a flat card. Okay, so let's get started. I do want to show it to you in the catalog though, because they have these really fun examples that I'm not using. For example, on the dies, you'll see this piece here, and it's actually a fence. So you have these longer board pieces that go, the skinny one goes across, and then the planks that go up and down. So you've got this nice little fence, which is super cute. And you can kind of make a beachy scene because there are shells. And this card in the catalog shows the shells. And there's a bottle of sunscreen, there's a water bottle, lotion, different types of holders for the bag, like different handles that you can put on the bag. Like here is like a traditional handle, and then here's another type of handle, and then just different accents, a pocket. So you can kind of do what you want with this particular die set, and it's just got all kinds of pieces. Super fun. I love the glasses and a scarf. And this, so here's the pocket and a tag, really cute. This little piece here is meant to be a newspaper article or something like that. And this is the notes part of the totes. So pretty much everything here is notes, or totes I mean, except for the tag and this little newspaper. And that's where the stamp set comes in, because you can put things like newsflash, you're fabulous, so grateful, true story, exclusive, made just for you, stuff like that. On this card, I actually glued this one in, but I was talking to the people at Stamp Camp and I was saying, you know, you could not glue this down, and that way someone could take the note out. And I was using this as a gift card holder, so there was already something coming in and out, but thinking about it after I put this one together, it would have been nice to not glue this down, and that way if they pulled this out, you could write a little greeting about why you think they're fabulous, you know, something like that. So it's just a really fun little card, and I just wanted to show it to you. So the stamps themselves don't really go with the, I mean, they go with the dies in theme, but they don't, here's the sun, you know, for the sun looking, but they don't go like usually a die will cut out some sort of shape, and it doesn't happen in this one. They do fit within the newspaper, these do, but otherwise they don't. This flower would be great if you wanted to make a patterned bag and you want to add some pattern to your cardstock, and you can do different color cardstock, and if maybe you don't have a designer series paper that you like particularly, you can use this stamp set to kind of create a pattern. I'm using designer series paper for mine, so I'll show you the pieces that I cut. I cut this one, which my cat knocked on the floor, so it's wrinkled. So I've cut this piece out, which is the bag, and then I cut out one of the newspapers and the scarf. And then I cut the sunglass out. I cut part of it out with cardstock, but then I cut another part of it out with silver foil to kind of make the sunglass part, and I'll go ahead and layer those. And I had some pieces left over. When you cut out those sunglass part, this one, you end up with these little hearts, which I didn't want to throw away, so we're going to use those. And then this piece here, this die, I love that it's all one piece, and that way you're not using these teeny tiny little dies. So you put that on your cardstock and it cuts out this, which is like a nice base for your bag, which doesn't have to be used. You can kind of make this as detailed as you want. And then this piece, and then I'm going to use this handle because that's what I cut out. So these are all the cuts that I've already done, so we can put this together quickly, but I want to give you some tips on how to put this down to make it into a gift card holder. And I thought I would also, at the end, I have these pieces left over from Stamp Camp, and we can show how to put it together as a 3D item as well. So you can do either one. Okay, let's go ahead and make it. let's see, what did I do with my card pieces? I've got my cutout pieces, but now we need my card pieces. So I've got a black card base, basic black, and then I've grabbed some basic white, and I had this one sitting on my desk. It's been embossed with birchwood, and I thought, you know what, we're gonna go ahead and use it because it's already sitting here and I might as well. And then I have one for the inside because my card is black, so I want to have something to write on. I always put a white on the inside anyway, regardless of what color my cardstock is. I just think it looks really nice. Okay, and then I cut in a coordinating paper to my scarf. I cut a little strip. I cut one for the inside and one for the outside. And this is from, what is the name of this paper? Beautiful Bokeh, and it's, you know, these just tone on tone with that kind of photography effect where you get the little splashes of light. And I used the Rich Razzleberry or Berry Burst one, but it comes in all different colors. It's really fun paper. Okay, so those are my pieces, and let's get started. So I'm going to start gluing just my backgrounds down just to get them out of my way. And these are just cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and the pattern one's going to go on the front. And I'm not going to put the, I should stamp that before I put it down. I almost made a mistake. I always do your stamping first because you can always flip the card over, and that embossed piece must not have been exactly 5 1/4. I just grabbed it from my desk. See, it's a little too long, so I'm going to trim this down just a smidge. That's your background. Now, to put our little purse down, it already has, the die itself has score lines. So you're going to, and it's hard to see on the pattern paper, I apologize, but there are little score lines, and you're going to want to go ahead and score them. I recommend, if you're going to use this on a card base, this little tab is not as important. Actually, I didn't particularly like this particular tab on my 3D either, but I just wanted to show it to you. Maybe you like it. I feel like it's so tiny that it's not as important. That's just me. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down before I fold everything, just because I really want it to lay nice and flat. And I think it's easier to do before you've folded everything. But I wanted to fold these tabs in just because this does go all the way to the end of the non-folded ones, and I want to make sure I got it correct. Okay, and you know what? It's so funny, when you make a video, your brain, I've made this card like so many times, and my brain is forgetting things. So technically, I should have put these down first because they go all the way to the bottom, and now mine are going too high. See that? And I wanted to tuck them under, and I didn't do that. But and I want to measure to see if I've got them far enough apart. I do. So mine are going to have to get cut off. Part of me thinks of starting over again. My video. We'll see if I make any more mistakes, right? So I'm putting this down like so. And if you had put those down first, you wouldn't have to do this cutting off part. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick down my handle, and I'm going to put just adhesive on this big part right here. Stick that down. And while this is still flat, I'm going to go ahead and put on my scarf. It's going to just kind of hang off the side there. Super cute. Now I have a tip for these glasses. This piece here is so skinny. See that? So if you have fine tip glue, or you really have a steady hand and you can put your glue on there, that's great. However, I wanted to show you what I did. I used an adhesive sheet, and that way I was able to, what you do is the adhesive sheet comes in a sheet like this, and it's got covering on both sides. Mine is an older one. They no longer are made by Sizzix for Stampin' Up, so now it doesn't say that on. Then the newer ones are, they look like this on both sides. I'm still trying to use up some of my old ones, so that's why mine still says 6. But what you do is you cut a piece to size, and then you stick it on the back of the side you don't want to show. If it's a pattern, if it's cardstock, it doesn't matter. And you stick it on the back, and you do that by peeling the backing off of one of these. And so then when you run it through your machine, it has the sticker on here, and then you would peel that sticker off, and now this has adhesive on it, and then you can go ahead and glue it down like so. So now it's glued down, and it's so skinny you didn't have to get that little glue that would have smeared kind of all over these glasses. The first time I did it, I just used my glue, and I don't know if you can tell, but I got glue all over my little glasses, and that was a bummer. So going forward, when I'm using these glasses, I will go ahead and use adhesive strips. You can do that for these little skinny pieces too, but those were not so hard. Okay, so anyway, that was how I did that. All right, now I want to let this sit aside while it dries, and I'll go ahead and do my stamping. So for this card, you've got some choices here. There's Relax and Enjoy, You Earned It. I thought that would be a really nice one for maybe a graduation or something like that, or Relax and Enjoy for a mom. We did this before Mother's Day, and we were able to add some Mother's Day notes to it, but you can kind of do whatever you want here. Sending Warm Wishes is another way to do it, or just a note. I'm going to do the Relax and Enjoy, You Earned It again. I liked that one, and it's always good to give someone a congratulations. Maybe they got a new job, or they retired. It's a good retirement one, actually. I was thinking about retiring. A retirement card, because I know someone who's retiring. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do that in Berry Burst to match my paper. I kind of wanted to bring a little bit of that in ink form. So I've got that going. And then I thought to bring in some black. We've got a lot of black here. I would separate my words, so the You Deserve It or You Earned It one will be in black. So I'm gonna put that down. In my arm, I meant to have all my ink right at my side, but I forgot. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the You Earned It right there. Okay. Now remember how I told you these hearts were left over from making these glasses? I figured I might as well use them. I'm just going to stick them down like that. And now I'm going to put that other strip that I had right here. All right, our inside is complete. So I want to add my stamped Newsflash, You're Fabulous to here. Let's see if I can find it. Is it this one? Yes. Nope, this one says exclusive, made just for you. This one says Newsflash, You're Fabulous. So let me go ahead and stick this down. And you can see how, I don't know if you can see as well, but there's a little kind of a rectangular or square kind of place in here that is where you would maybe write your news story. So the heading goes above the line, and then you can write something in here like you're fabulous. You know, you can say, if they're retiring, you can say, you know, here's to 25 years of work and now 25 years of fun, or whatever you're going to put. Oh, maybe they'll more than 25 years of fun, right? Whatever you want to put there. Okay, now like I said, I cut this part off. See this little part here? I'm not sure if you can see, but it's got these two little tabs coming off. I found that was in the way for this particular application, and I cut it off. It's not necessary for a flat card. And look at that. I used my paper snips to cut a dimensional. It's kind of a no-no. I always use my other snips for that. And I got adhesive on there. Something I would have said no at stamp camp. Now all my stamp campers are going to see that I did that. Okay, so now we've got our bag. And so we want to make sure, and this paper is going to show it nicely because it's got this dark. We want to make sure we only put adhesive on these flaps because we want to be able to tuck a gift card in here. So you can go ahead and you can use your tear tape or liquid adhesive, if whatever you like to use. I'm going to go ahead and just put a small line of my liquid glue right on those flaps. And then I'm going to stick it down. You can have it, I kind of liked it at a slight angle, like so. And just give it a minute. You can let your block hold it down. And then as far as these glasses go, I didn't put a sticker on the silver because it's such a big space and that's easy to glue down. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to the back of my glasses. And you can decide, do you want these, maybe they're hanging off the side of the purse, or maybe they're kind of sitting on the ground. I decided I wanted to bring this to the bottom part of my bag, and they're sitting on the ground. Okay, this is not yet dry. Give that a moment. Okay, so here's where you can write something down if you want, or you don't feel like you can think of anything you want to write there, then you can glue it in there, or you can omit this, but I think it's kind of cute. So then I just put a few sequins. I want to say really quickly that you should check out the clearance rack. It's now called the Last Chance List. You can look under specials and look at Last Chance List, or if you go just to embellishments, you'll see some of them on sale. When they discontinue embellishments, it's a great time to buy them. So this particular sequin pack is sadly retiring. I actually really like this pack. They come just one sheet in the pack as well, you know. I have two in here just because I use them a lot and I kind of combined them. But I love these colors and I use them quite frequently. So even though these are retiring, I actually have another one of these in my cart right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and put down, just because it gives a little shimmer, and actually on this one, if you wanted to use the pink, you can. I'm gonna just use the white. They just give a little shimmer to your background. They kind of blend in. I'm using a couple big ones and a little one, and they're just a fun little addition. You can decide what you think about sequins, but I like them. All right, so here is our card. Where's my newspaper? Here it is. And that just goes right in there. And if you don't want to put a gift card in here, then this is something you can put instead. A cute little note to take out. And then on the inside, you can tell them whatever message you want to put in there. I just think it's a fun little card. Whoops, I lost my newspaper. There it is. Now, I want to show you how easy it is to put together the other one as well. So here are my pieces for the 3D version. Now here you need two of everything because you want a front and a back. Isn't this paper fun? This paper, oh, I should have said what the black and white paper is. The black and white paper is from a paper pack that's all black and white. And I really like that because it's a really great, you know, neutral if you need one, but you can also change it with blending brushes. You can imagine taking your blending brush and adding any color you want on top of these florals, and you can get, you know, a pink and black is nice, or a green, or whatever you want to put. This is called Botanical Textures, and it's just all black and white. Now some of them are just kind of that you wouldn't be able to add much color on top of. So there's some black neutrals that are fun, kind of marbly looking, watercolory looking, stripes. This one you could definitely add a color on top of and get a really fun neutral. So those are the back sides, and then the front sides are all kind of botanical leaves type. Some of them are dark with white leaves, some are white with dark leaves, and there's different sizes of the leaves too. Like I've used up all of this smaller size, but then there's this kind of more sketchy, more watercolory. Here's another dark one, and then there's this one. But I think this would be really nice with a blending brush, and you can change the color of that. Okay. Now this paper pack This paper pack I've already purchased more than once. It's so nice. So it's also got the word textures in it. This one's woven textures. So the first one was botanical textures. And this is all different types of basket weaves. So let me go away from the shiny side here. And so here is like kind of a burlap, and then the back side has that pattern. Either side is great for a bag. And then here's more of a large weave. And it's just an amazing paper pack. Love this one. Here's like a round basket. And then the backs are just different weaves. So it's just really, really great. There's kind of a really small linen weave. Here's a darker pattern. So anyway, I love this one. This is one I think that is a definite must-have. So here is the bag. And again, you can choose either side. I thought this side was kind of pretty for the bag. So you need 2 of each piece. And again, it's going to be hard because of this pattern for you to see these score lines. So I'm kind of going to pre-score them, or kind of fold them, I mean, so you can see them. But it's already in the paper, so when you're handling it, you'll be able to see it. And then again, it's got that little tab, which I feel is not necessary. And then it's got two little flanges. So we need 2. So if the flange is on this side, now this one is going to be on this side. I don't know if flange is the right word. I'm making things up. Alright, so I've got these all folded, so now you can see where they're all at. But I want to put my pieces down before I glue it together. Alright, and then this one I glued kind of tricky, so I want to show you this one. I don't know why I put my adhesive on there. I should have put it on the back of the cardstock. So it fits within this tab, because this tab kind of gets folded, so you want your bottom of your bag to stop at that score line. So I wanted to show you that. That was something that a few people missed. Again, I did it where I forgot to put this down. Why? That's so funny. I have a blockage in my brain about that. I want that bottom piece down first. I guess I like to work from the bottom up, maybe. So let me see if I can tuck it under, unless this is already dry. That glue dries so fast, doesn't it? That tacky glue. It's great. Yep, I'm not going to be able to stick it all the way down. I'm going to have to cut. I don't know why I have a mental block about that. I can get it slightly under. I want to make sure that I've got them spaced correctly. All right, so on this one, let's try to remember to put those down first. All right. So I'm going to add my adhesive. Stick it down. See how they go all the way to the bottom line of the score line. So if you do it first, you don't have to cut anything off. I like to put this here so I kind of know how far apart I need my pieces. Okay. Oops. All right, now we'll put this on top the correct way. All right, holding that down for just a second. Okay. I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to my strap area. And let's trim this off. Now you might be thinking, what fits in these bags? And you know, I actually ended up I found Tic Tacs. I don't have any more because my kids ate them all. But they were tropical Tic Tacs, which I thought was cute because I thought this looked like a beach bag. Again, you could put a gift card in here, and a pack of gum, or a gift card, or cash and tissue paper, or what have you. You can find some small little Ghirardelli squares of chocolate. The bottom is kind of small, so the Ghirardelli squares work nicely because they are pretty thin, those squares, but they're delicious. You could put some tea in there. Anyway, stuff like that. Just nothing too big. You can't put a chapstick in there unless it's at the top. You could put some kind of padding at the bottom and then put a chapstick at the top where it gets wider, or you know, if you tuck things in there, but it won't go all the way to the bottom and it might fall over. So it's just, it stands up. It's a cute little bag. Really fun. Okay, now how I put mine together was I wanted to have these two flanges, I'm gonna keep calling them flanges, stick together like this because I did not want, so I wanted this nice, like let's say that's leather trim, to go all the way around. I didn't want to see it not finish, you know, on the other side. This one's starting to, it's been manhandled. It's been sitting on my desk waiting for this video for about 2 weeks now. We made this at Stamp Camp maybe 3 weeks ago. I don't remember now. Okay. Anyway, so how I did that was I tucked these in, and they kind of, these are just going to go on top of each other. So you're going to put adhesive on one and then fold them up. But again, I felt like this is not necessary because the area that this is going to cover is so small. Here, I'll show you on this one. See that little area there? That there's really nothing to glue it to. Nothing can fall out of there, and I really felt like having these tiny little itty bitty flaps was completely unnecessary. So again, I felt like they got in my way and I just cut them off. Now, if you've made this and you feel they are super necessary, please explain. Maybe I'm doing something completely wrong. I wonder if when they design these, they design them big and then scale them down. Because I can see if you were making this bigger, how you'd want more security down there. Security is always good in a treat holder, but these are super tiny and I just didn't think it was necessary. Okay, so we're gonna layer one on top of the other like so. Okay, so I'm gonna put adhesive on one, like that. Okay, and then on the sides, you could, I didn't want to do it like this, like we just did on the bottom, because I didn't want, and maybe that's why I'm having issues, but I didn't want, see how this only goes to that flange. So if I were to fold it like this, then these don't go all the way to the edge, and then I do have a big gap. So I want to fold them together like this. So this is my opinion. I'm going to go ahead and add adhesive to one side, and then I'm going to close them both in, not nested. Pinch them together is how I did it, like so. And then that flappy thing, the bottom flap, just kind of goes in, and I'm just tucking these in and pinching them together. And I'm going to count to, like, I don't know, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and let go, and they'll be fine there. So see, that way my bottom trim goes and touches at the back, whereas if I had flapped them over like the other way, that wouldn't happen. So let me close this side, and tear tape would be good here too, but I think our liquid glue does seal pretty quickly. So I'm going to count to 10, and my bag is done. It's just the cutest thing. It's darling, especially with this paper, this woven paper. It's just perfect. All right, so then it's done, and so my glue, I guess when I put my glue on the back, I didn't go all the way end. I tend to just kind of do it in a little squiggle, so I will add a little bit of glue there and just hold it for a second. But we're all done. And then you can do something. Now, if you don't like this sticking in like this, I hope you can see what I'm talking about. You can glue it down on one side. It doesn't bother me, so I left it alone. Okay, there it is. It's all done, and it's just adorable. You can tie a little ribbon on it, and we had our Tic Tacs were tropical pineapples and things like that, so the yellow worked really cute, and we had things sticking out, but you can kind of fill it with whatever you think is nice. And again, tissue paper is good too, and put a little gift card in there or cash. And there we go. This would be nice for teacher gifts, but school's already out, because you can say relax and enjoy, you deserve it for end of school, and then give the teacher a little, you know, like a little beach bag, and that would be perfect. Again, I just thought of, I mean, I didn't make my video early enough to talk about that because school is out. Well, at least it is for us. There you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I think it's a super cute set. I can't wait to make it again with that fence, because I just really think that's adorable. With that fence post and the seashells, just straight out of the catalog. The sample is adorable, so you can kind of make something, copy it right out of the catalog, because it's adorable. And where is it? One more? Yeah. Super cute. Here they have a gift card and like a little powdered water bottle. That's cute. I didn't even notice that. A gift card with a little water bottle and a beverage. So nice little thing to bring to the beach. And here is that fence, which I think is adorable. Super cute. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.